All right, this is the crash course for things called biomes, and at the end of this, we're going to get into human impact and how humans affect the environment around us. So first, organization of living things. We have some things that we've already learned about and some that we have not quite yet. But we're starting off with the cell, then we get to our tissue, then we get to our organ, like the stomach. And as we get bigger, we get to an organ system, so a bunch of different organs working together. Then we get our organism, which is just one thing, like you as a human are one organism. And then we get a population, a bunch of our organisms in a group. So this is the organization from smallest, our cell, to largest of what we know, our population of one organism. We do go beyond that though. So beyond just our organism and our population, we also have our community, which is multiple species interacting with each other. So we have like a moose here, maybe a fox, a rabbit, kind of like our food webs that we've already learned about. Then we get into ecosystem, which is taking all of the community and adding in also our abiotic or non-living parts. So we're now adding in a bear, maybe an eagle, all of this community, but also maybe some water, maybe some rocks, shelter. And we get even bigger and we get into our biome, which is a major, huge part of the earth that has a similar climate. So like North America has a bunch of different biomes that we're going to look into. Then we get into our biosphere, which is all of our biomes together, which is just the earth. So levels of our biosphere that we're going to look closer at in the small group today. We have our population. We know that that is just one species. So like a species of zebras, a population of zebras. We get even bigger. We get to our community, and we now have multiple species. So for example, zebras plus lions, maybe. We step even bigger away from that. We get our ecosystem, which is where our food web would be. And we have our living and non-living, our zebras, maybe plus our lions, maybe plus water. And then we get even bigger than that into our biome, and we get this huge area, for example, like the desert, the Sahara Desert, where all of these things would live. All right, so we're going to first do some practice EOC questions before we move into small group, just to get the level of organization down. So the diagram below, or over here, represents levels of organization in living things. Which term would best represent X? So we have cell, something bigger than a cell, then an organ system, then an organism. If we look at our answers, it's not going to be a human because a human is an organism. It's not going to be a stomach because a stomach is an organ. Not going to be an organelle because that is a little tiny part of a cell. The answer is tissue. All right, question number 2. The Louisiana black bear, we don't have to read this, and on the EOC, they're going to give you this to throw you off, the scientific name, is a threatened species. Scientists want to determine whether the bear should be put on the state endangered species list. Which level of organization, that is our key word, will scientists use as a determining factor for this decision? So in this question, if we're talking about levels of organization, it only mentioned one species. If the question is only mentioning one species, we are talking about, a population. You should mark A for this answer. If it's only talking about one species, it is talking about just the population of the bears. All right, go ahead and see me for the next direction. We're going to move into small group about biomes and how humans impact the environment.